I don't have a quote for this week, but it is me and Kobe's first request from I think someone important. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll get more in the future though. That's really cool.
Right, but we got a request for a specific movie.
Yes, for a as the email had said, an indie art house coming of age film from Spain.
Yeah,
But before we get into that, my name is Barry,
this is Colby.
and this is Who Watches This.
Theme music.
Honestly, actually, I'm not. Yeah. Well, we're gonna have theme music for this. But I think I should probably put this on YouTube too.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I also don't know how much of this movie we can talk about as far as like plot wise. That's the hard part. She didn't really specify what I can talk about, but I mean, she reached out, so I'm guessing we could talk about a good amount.
Right. It
Otherwise, they'll just send us a cease and desist and to take it down. But before we go ahead and introduce the movie, we have our obligatory something a Tory movie trailer. Elena is a caged bird. Sarazetta is free in the world. Let's see how their story unfurls in 2025's Go Girl. I don't know.
or when I got confused looking for it,
Oh,
La Niña del Cabra.
yeah. Yeah, Go Girl is just like the American name for this, but yeah,
Yeah.
La Niña de Cobra is the Spanish word for Go Girl. Yeah, so when I got the email, they're like, "Hey, do you guys want to talk about this movie on your podcast? I think it'd be really cool for you guys to, say something about it, review it, see how you guys feel about it. It's a coming of age story about a girl from the 1980s having to deal with like a bunch of themes."
Right, right. And hey, if they listen to our podcast, they know how we review.
Yeah.
And this is a 2025 movie, so it's not like
Well, it just came out over the weekend. This 2025 in the film festival circuits. But
okay,
they did
okay.
have a release on June 19th. So this is probably like one of the first times that we're going to record something and I'm going to post it right away onto the podcast. Right
Okay.
away.
We'll
So
try to. I'm not really sure what would there be if like spoilers, but we'll try to avoid.
I mean, yeah, it's really hard. Yeah, like again, like you said, if they listen to the podcast, they know how we talk about things, and hopefully, this is gonna be your first and final warning for this movie. If you're planning to see this movie, and you're like, oh, let me see what they talk about first. Now we're probably gonna talk about. I'm probably just gonna go through their whole plot,
Right. Yeah.
and you might get spoiled, you might not. Who knows? But But yeah, this is your warning. So if you want to go ahead and watch this movie, don't want to get spoiled on anything, go ahead, stop the podcast. Go to your local art house theater if your town is cool enough to have one. I don't think we have one in Vegas.
I we mi-
We might.
we've got to, right? It's Vegas. It's got to be
I
something.
don't know. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and watch the movie and then come back and listen to our thoughts about it and see if you agree or not. But yeah, we open up in 1988, Spain. We're following a little girl named Elena, and this whole movie is pretty much told from her point of view, which is good because if we're gonna be following this girl, it's like it's nice to see. I don't know if how often a lot of movie like film people do this, but or like stories that do this, but usually when like one of the childs is like a main actor, they always pair them up with like an adult
Right.
to
Yeah.
so like, well, there's movies for adults too, but like this one is strictly from like the point of view of Elena, because
Right. We get like a 1 minute kind of like introduction
yeah,
from the adult Elena, like
hmm
introducing herself, but we never
yeah,
see her as an adult.
yeah,
And then she kind of comes back a little bit later on in the movie.
yeah. And so like it opens up with like a ballet recital, and young like old Elena's like, I loved my grandma, everything I did was for her. And when she was doing this recital, she you do that thing you do as a little kid, you look into the crowd looking for your family,
Right.
and she sees an empty seat, and that's where she kind of was just like, she knows her grandma would have came if she could have, but
Yeah.
she's been so sickly. And that's where she says to herself that like that's probably the first time I thought about someone dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like at first, like I was like, did she mean that like maliciously? Or was like, no, 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 no. I was like, I rewound it, and she was like, she really meant it more just like, the finite time she has with her grandmother.
Right. Exactly. Do we mention at least later on they mention her name or her age? She's eight,
She's 8.
9 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, she's 8 years old because she's yeah, there's a important religious thing happening that's around that time as well. But like, yeah, no. So should we what's it called? When she's going home, she asks about her grandmother, but her mom and her dad are kind of just like talking amongst themselves, kind of brushing her off because they're talking about like, well, we have to put Elena in ballet again because all the ballet kids have re-signed, and then we have to do her communion, which is like, yeah, typically around that
And,
time.
and there's a little bit of money bickering because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
we have to pay for
Year of ballet.
another year of ballet. We're trying to save for this. Yeah.
Yeah, for all these things. And so Elena's like, she's constantly just like, where's grandma? Where's grandma? And they're like, Elena, she's sick. You know that. She couldn't make it and all this stuff. So when she gets home, she goes to her grandmother's room or her abuela. And then she's like, grandma's super sweet. She's kind of given Elena the attention that like typically a mom or a parent would, but
Right.
like
Yeah.
classic grandmother status. So and she's like, "Oh, please, Elena, I'm sorry I couldn't make it to your dance recital, but go ahead and dance for me now so I can see." And Elena, she brings out like the boombox, and it's like this old Spanish song that's on the cassette tape, and she's dancing, and it's like it looks like very traditional, like Spanish dancing, not ballet.
Right. And grandma's so excited to see her.
Yeah, she's like, oh, so pretty, so beautiful, and all that stuff. But like her daughter comes in, Elena's mom, and she's like, Mom, like you haven't been going to church. And mom is like, nah, whatever.
Right. I'm tired of priests.
Yeah, like she's like, I don't want to. And like, but like, 1980s Spain, it's very heavily Catholic.
Right. Yeah.
Also like, somebody as myself growing up in the Catholic environment as well. It's like, yeah, just two very different factions, right? And grandma is more just like, I'm almost there. But you see all this from Elena's perspective, because it's like the camera work never gets to like adult eye level really,
Yeah, right.
unless it's like a super wide shot. But everything is pretty much from Elena's eye level. So we're constantly looking up at the parents. We're constantly like or looking down at the parents in like lower sections, and yeah. So and so we kind of just run through Elena's like lifestyle, right? She has like sort of a very weird relationship with her parents. I mean, obviously her parents care about her, but they're very wrapped up in their own situation.
Right. And
Uh,
I don't know if it's necessarily that they're also trying to pay the bills for
mhm.
grandma's being sick,
Mm,
because they don't at
yeah,
that point they don't give you an idea of how sick grandma is. She's just like, oh, I couldn't go because I was feeling under the weather and I haven't been
yeah,
able to leave the house.
exactly. And like like I mean, Elena seems to do pretty well at school. She has friends, like like with
Right.
friends with the popular girls, and yeah, and then so what's it called? But then she also sees like these Romanis outside in her like apartment courtyard,
Right.
and like if you guys know, like Romanis, like wandering, well, like wanderers, nomadic people, and and so like, but she kind of gets like very curious about one girl who's about her age.
Right. Yeah, because they keep showing up and they're playing music,
Yeah,
and they've got a goat that they're feeding, and it's people are throwing like stuff out the windows, like little
there's some
tips.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Elena kind of looks at this girl that's about her age, and she's like, "Wow, it's kind of like, oh wow, she looks cool."
Right. Yeah.
And I kind of wish I could be like her because like her mom kind of wants her to be more of the traditional girl with like, like traditional clothing, and this Romani girl, she just has much more like it kind of reminded me of what's her name from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Esmeralda.
Yeah.
Yeah, very like like the long skirt, like the it's like very I don't know if that's like the style of like Romani's, but that's very much the outfit that like Esmeralda had in Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's like
Yeah.
really my only knowing like reference to like Romani's. But like all of a sudden, like what's Elena? She's reading her grandma's favorite poem, which I was like, oh, I need to know like what is that poem about? Oh wait, sorry. Before that, like oh, what's it called? Elena, she goes to like she goes on a field trip with her school. They see some black paintings by Francisco Goya, and just very like from my very limited knowledge of black paintings, I just know it was sort of the change in like what Renaissance art or like whatever into modern art.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I that's like the only thing I remember from somebody telling me about like paintings. I was like, okay, well, it's black paintings. I think I made a joke. I was like, yeah, is that just like canvas painted black? But one really sticks out to her, which is like the Witch's Sabbath, which is like, it's a painting of like these women, kind of drawn very crudely to display or to portray the evilness inside of them, and then one of the figures is like a goat, which like a lot of people attribute goats to like demons or the devil,
Right. Yeah.
and so later that night, this is when Elena she goes into her grandma's room. Her grandma's fallen asleep reading a book, and she's like, "Oh, Elena, you're here. Please read me this book from the tales I know." And I believe the specific poem is "Cradle of Life" by oh god, something Felipe, something. I can't. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Leon Felipe, Cradle of Man. Unfortunately, after she reads a little bit of the passage, her grandmother falls asleep, so Elena leaves her alone. But in the morning, we find out that grandma has died,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you've ever had anyone like pass away while you were that young. Did you know? Did you
Certainly no one like
close?
close.
Oh, okay. So I think yeah. When I was young, I had a couple funerals, and it is very like this is like a pretty accurate depiction of just like, whoa, now what?
Right. Yeah. It was kind of like me and my folks. We lived out here, and everybody else that like all our other relatives, the other side of the country. So
Yeah,
it was if somebody passed, by the time we got there, it was already like we didn't see it till like funeral day. So
yeah,
all that.
But like the processing of Elena, this is like a
Yeah,
really good depiction of it because I remember feeling some of those feelings as well, right? Because like after this happens, like Elena starts to pray more. Like it wasn't
right.
depicted beforehand, but after she's always praying for her grandmother's soul because her grandmother wasn't going to church towards the end of her life.
Right. Yeah.
Elena's also attending all these communion classes with this priest.
I wasn't sure where they were going with that with the priest. He was a
Yeah, I felt rude for thinking that this was gonna turn into a horror,
no, legitimately, like I
because this guy might actually be an actual priest too. You know what I mean? Oh man! And then at school, Elena's like still trying to process everything, but she's also trying to get back to normal. Like she's doing like some dance with like her friends, and this girl comes and she's like, "Hey, can I join?" And they're like, "No, sorry, we already have four. What's wrong with one more?" He's like, "That's not gonna work."
because it was supposed to be boys and girls. He was like,
Yeah,
so like we can't have a fifth. You have to go find somebody else to come
yeah.
dance with you.
And they're like, "No," and then they're like, "Can you believe her? Just because her grandmother died, she thinks we have to say yes to everything." I was like, "Wow." I do remember kids being that mean too.
Right. Yep.
But like Elena wants to talk to her because she's kind of found somebody who knows what she's going through.
Right. Yep.
But these two have a disagreement about religion. Cause the other girl, she's like, "Oh yeah, my grandma died, but she's just like in the dirt." My dad said she's gonna sleep forever, and that's all. And she's like, Elena's like, "No, my grandma's are going to heaven." She's like, "No, your grandma's sleeping in the dirt." Kind of dips out after that.
Right. And that's a hard thing to distinguish as a
Mhm.
kid. Like you
Yeah.
basically only know what your adults have told you.
And like you want to believe, like that's like one of those things that you do want to believe as a kid. You're like, oh yeah, now grandma's gonna go like sip sangrias by like the ocean side in heaven.
Right, not just be worm food.
Yeah, not just be worm food, right? And so like the rest of this movie, I don't know if we should continue. Like this movie is like one thing I do want to say about this movie is like I think from what I read, this is kind of like loosely based on the director Anna.
Mm,
Like that's who's narrating at the beginning of the movie.
okay.
And so like this movie is very like I think because I'm so used to Japanese like media that like this movie isn't exciting.
Mm.
Like it gets dull at portions, but I like that. I like this like almost like it almost feels like a really well constructed vlog.
Yeah, it's the art where there's so like there's parts where there's like no talking and
Yeah.
she's just walking and it's this like you're like embracing the scenery and
The moments
the
of like
cinematography of
yeah,
it.
and like the visual storytelling because like after
Yeah.
this like yeah, so like yeah, Elena starts to have like a lot of conflicting feelings inside of herself, right? She has a lot of this like Catholic guilt, right? Because like the priest is like, if you have bad thoughts, that's a sin. If
Right,
you
right.
if
It was
you
yeah, it starts off as like if you lie, if you steal, but also if you have bad thoughts.
or if you use curse words, that's a
Curse
sin.
words, yep.
And I do remember that in like those classes. Like I was like, oh my god, I think I just rolled my eyes. And then obviously with like how her grandmother was, she's also having conflicting ideas of like, oh, where did my grandmother end up in? She didn't go to church. That's a sin. you
Right,
know, and
right.
so
And so
It's
she
just
has that dream.
she has a lot of dreams about like her grandmother like falling from the sky, which is reminiscent of the Morning Star. Uh,
Right.
um, but yeah, no, and but then she also builds like this relationship with Cerazeda, right? The little Romani girl, a part of this group. She like gives her like some toys. She like they like they trade for like a bracelet, and then like all her friends see it at school, and they're like, "Where did you get that?" And she doesn't want to say it was from a Romani girl.
Right. And I guess I I didn't understand. I
It's
don't
racism.
understand how much like there's like I guess racism
Yeah, I mean that's what
in
it
that.
is. Yeah,
But yeah, because like her parents are all like, "Stop hanging out with that girl. We're
yeah,
not going to let you hang out in the
in the
the
yard.
courtyard if you're going to keep hanging out with that girl."
Yeah, and like it's funny is like everyone's always like America's so racist. No, no, you guys just hide it better. um, but she builds a relationship with her. I think she sees a lot of qualities in like Cerizeda. That's like she's free. She's not so weighed down by like a lot of these things that she's weighed down by.
Right, right. And her family sings, and she's talked about how you know
Yeah,
when they're at home they still sing. It's not just their job; it's what
yeah.
they like to do.
And then like Elena's like, my parents just like they sing, but like it's more like yelling at
Right,
each other.
and and mom is like now converting grandma's room into
A
a
salon.
studio, yeah, hair studio,
Yeah.
because they're trying to pay off bills, and that's just
Hmm.
another thing to fight about.
Yeah.
um and the husband is like, well, I'll start working on Sundays,
Yeah.
driving the taxi.
He's like spending 10 hours in the taxi and all that stuff. But like I like it because like when they're arguing, it's sort of like you kind of just get like you never get the whole context, right?
Right, you're definitely getting it, like you said earlier, like from the kid's point of view.
Yeah, because they're always like, go to your room, but we're still gonna talk loud enough for you to hear down the hallway.
Yeah, yep.
But like, yeah, what's it called? Elena's like, no, you can't turn grandma's room into something else. Like, I want to keep all this stuff.
Right, right.
And they're like, Elena, no, you can't have this stuff. It's like, we'll keep some stuff, but we gotta donate everything else. She's like, no, I want to keep like grandma's dress. I want to keep her books. I want to keep her pictures. And so well, a little bit before that, we do see a little bit more of her relationship at school. She does make up with that girl whose mother died,
Right.
but like she doesn't let her friends see that she's like made up with her. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like that's like another thing. That's like another theme in this is like I don't know if it's like the theme of like guilt or grief, or I don't know if she's like in a different class as like the other girls. I don't know.
Right, right. Because it was kind of like the popular girls are the ones that are doing the ballet, and that's what
Yeah.
she was doing. And this is kind of like just the another girl from the class, but if she hangs out too much there, the popular girl is going to be like, "Oh, you're hanging out with."
Yeah, with her. Why? Because her mom died. Dude, the things that kids say is crazy. But yeah, no. So like, when she gets in this whole argument, like, what's it called? Like during that whole scuffle too, like the school calls and they're like, hey. And just to let you know, Lena's been selling these like bracelets that she got from a Romani girl. Yeah.
Right,
So Lena's like, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. I don't want to be in this house. There's no love in this house.
right, right.
Love died in this house when Grandma died. And so she ends up stowing away in the Romani's family's van.
Right. Yeah, it's funny, like, because I was
I almost
It
said the
was
word because they say
it
the word in this movie.
they do it, yeah. It was literally like 3 or 4 years ago where I learned that that was
A slur?
a a slur word that you shouldn't use. I didn't realize it was I
Yeah, I didn't know
I
either.
didn't realize there was as much of a separation
Yeah.
in some people's minds between those groups.
Yeah, man. But so like yeah, so like no, she ends up like going with this family, and when she gets out, she calls like Cereceda. She's like, Cereceda. She's like, what are you doing here? She's like, I come to live with you. And Cereceda's
And
like,
I will give you my doll.
yeah.
And now I'm gonna live with you.
And Cereceda's like, no. Cause like, we'll learn later, but like, she's like, nope. And then Lena's like, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. So she kind of just like plops down after like maybe like 10 minutes of walking.
Right, right. Kind of
Uh,
wander through the desert a little bit and
Cerezeta finds her. She's like, here is a blanket and here is a flashlight. You can stay in Lola's house.
right, and Lola is the goat.
Yeah. No one will find you here. And so like she ends up spending the night, but then like she sees like her family or her community all outside of their homes. It's a shanty town. It's not like
Right.
homes. It's kind of like poorly constructed huts. And like, but they're all dancing, they're all having fun, and it feels like there's a lot of love in that community, and Elena's not having that at all in hers.
Right. Yeah.
But the next morning she comes and they just hang out. They walk around like their area. They talk to each other, get to know each other. Like Cerezeda's telling like Elena, she's like, yeah, they're gonna build an amusement park here, so we won't be able to like live here anymore. They're kicking us out.
Right. We're gonna have to live in an apartment like you guys do.
Yeah, like but I hate it because then we won't get to have Lola anymore, and
Right.
like Lola, which is funny. Funny enough, Lola is grandmother in my language. Uh,
Mm.
is grandmother's goat, but she's really my goat too. And Elena's kind of just she's kind of just following this girl around, like just seeing how she's living her life.
Right. Right.
And this girl's, I mean, yeah, she's free, but she's not going to school or anything. She's she's kind of just wandering around like this piece of land that they have, and like, do you want to have something to eat? And they go to like this supposed haunted forest, and like what are they?
And then they just get like fennel.
Yeah, fennel. It's like, well, I guess our taste buds have been ruined by like refined sugars, but maybe it's like a very sweet natural treat. Colby.
Right.
Uh,
Well, it's just funny. It's like, are you hungry? You want something to eat? Yes, I'm starving. Here's a little branch of fennel.
yeah,
Chew on that.
I know. I'm wondering if this girl ever got anything to eat during her stay with Zeda.
She had a couple pieces of candy that you see her eat.
Oh, but like later that night, like they part ways again, and she hates this goat because it keeps reminding her of like the black paintings and the devil.
Right.
And so like before she goes to sleep, she was like, I hope God takes this thing away. Oh wait, sorry. Before that, there's like a little subplot of like this person that's like kidnapped
Oh,
or
right. Because
something.
you hear a little bit about it on the radio
Yeah.
in one of the early car rides. The radio is playing and talking about
But
somebody who's been kidnapped.
yeah, but Elena and Cereceda find her, and Elena's like, if we report her, we'll get $1 million. And then like so that's like their whole plan. It's like, don't worry, tomorrow we're gonna call them, and then we'll get the money.
Yep.
I think this guy was still alive though, because his body was twitching a little bit.
I thought he was not kidnapped and he was just like
High.
passed out, strung out. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It was the '80s. I don't know if cocaine, if crack ever made it to to Europe, but yeah, that's kind of what it looked like. Cause he was just knocked out in some middle of nowhere couch.
Right, because at first they were like, "Oh no, he's just asleep," and then they were like, "Let's double check." No, no, I think he's alive. I think he's alive.
And I was like, that's the most crackhead thing ever to do, is just to like randomly sit on a random couch in the middle of the forest. But yeah, no. So like when they wake up in the morning, Lola is not there. So sad as that, that's like freaking out. She's like, "Where's my goat?" And Elena's trying to be like, "Sad as that, we're supposed to go to the booth." And she's like, "I'm not going anywhere without my goat.
Right,
Give me
right.
where my goat at." And Elena's kind of like, "I'm so sorry. I wished to God that he would take Lola away." And she's like, "Why would you do that?" And she's like, "It's because like the devil could get into Lola." And she's like, "No, Lola is Lola."
Right. Yep.
And like the most kid logic ever. I mean, both are very, let's be honest,
Right.
very kid
Right.
logic. But like Zed is like, "Nope, I don't know. I don't care what you want to do. Well, fine, here, let's go find the body and then we'll go report it and then we'll find Lola." Because $1 million is $1 million still. I could buy like probably like 100 Lolas, maybe thousands of Lolas. But the body's not there anymore, so he probably just woke up. He's like, "Why am I so hastily tied up?"
That's right, because they tied his feet
Yeah,
just in case he woke up.
And so like Elena, I mean, said is that obviously is kind of upset with like Elena because of her wishing that stuff. So she's like, "Whatever, you can just stay here. I'm gonna go find my goat." And so they end up finding it. She ends up finding the goat, and like, but like said is like, just pet him and then feed him. And Elena's like, "Oh, okay, it is just a goat."
Right, right. And she makes reference. It was like it's just it's a pet. It's like a dog.
Yeah. But Elena's dad looks. He's like, "Said is that?" He's like, "Oh my God, why is there another child in here?" Which, hey,
Who is this girl? Why is she here?
to be fair, if you are a very unlike marginalized group, you're like, "Oh, we need to return her."
Right. Someone's gonna think we kidnapped this
Yeah.
kid to have it be
Yeah, for what is it?
labor or whatever,
or ransom money.
or ransom money. Yeah.
So like yeah, so like the dad brings Elena to a police station. Probably try to explain like, "Hey, listen, I don't know what this little girl was doing in my goat house. That doesn't sound right either. I found a girl."
Right. I was kind of thinking that same thing. It's like, how do you explain it? It's like, "Oh, my daughter just brought home this other girl, and
I didn't know she
doesn't.
was living in
We don't
my
know who
goat
she
shit.
belongs to."
But Elena's parents, obviously, she was like missing for 2 days. So
Yeah.
after the first day, probably filed a report of a missing child. And man, when they see her, they kind of like approach her like they don't approach her. They like kind of like get on her level, eye level, which
Yeah.
is like the first time really that they talk to Elena. Like they say if you want to connect with the child, get on their eye level.
Right. Yeah.
It's like the first time they did that. And they hug her super tight, and now they kind of are more trying to understand her because they're like, "Oh my God, our daughter ran away because probably we fight all the time."
Oh, right. Exactly. Yeah. And it
So
was the one person in this house that she really got along with is grandma, and grandma's gone, and then we just fight about the money
yeah,
and
and grandma stuff. And so like now like it's not gonna be perfect. It's 50-50, right? You're like so they're trying to meet Elena halfway. They put some of grandmother's stuff in Elena's room
yeah.
and stuff like that. They keep a lot of her stuff, and Elena's like, "Can we just keep her stuff? Do we have to sell it?" And she's like, "Sure, sure, we can. We'll keep it, for you."
Right.
and all that stuff. But like she's like, hey, you still have to do this communion, because communion's
Right.
communion. And like, and then like all of a sudden we hear Elena being screamed outside, and the parents know who it is,
Yeah.
but maybe they're like, well, nothing happened to her in the 2 days that she went missing, and then they brought her back home, so maybe they're not so bad.
Right.
And
So
so,
they're like, yeah, you can go down, but you got to stay in the courtyard,
yeah,
and you can't get your dress dirty because this
yeah.
is your communion dress.
And so like they meet up, and they kind of just saying goodbye to each other. They're like, we're not gonna be there anymore. We're gonna live in an apartment like you do, and yeah. And like, it's 1988. It's not like exactly the easiest way of staying in touch.
Right. And if you got, unfortunately, you got two groups of families who don't appreciate each other,
Well,
and
the
now you're
Romanis never really had any hostility towards them. It's always the Spanish.
right. But now if you're living in some other part of town,
Oh yeah,
you're not gonna be like, let's go out of our way to take you to go see your friend. Just be like,
yeah,
no, make friends at school.
exactly.
And she does, and then that's kind of the narrator comes in and says that was
That
the
was
last time she.
they saw each other. I'm like, hopefully, like maybe she sees this movie and then she's like, "Oh my god, I remember you." Maybe
That would be crazy. Like, well, like
yeah,
the whole movie is made as a.
as a confine me. I, what a, that's a
I was 8. I only knew your first name,
yeah,
and who knows if that was just what people called you.
yeah. But like, hey, maybe you'll see this movie and you'll try to reach out, right? That would be crazy if that's what the whole thing was, right?
Right.
But like, so like they go to the communion, the whole ceremony starts, everyone is taking their body of Christ,
Yeah.
a communion. That's and it was Selena's turn, and oh god, I was so mad that I was like looking at this priest, is like that's an Igor if I ever saw one. It's like, Jesus. Oh, please, if you're an actual priest, I'm so sorry. I mean, as a person, I'm sorry too for thinking that, but like, come on. But like, this is like a kind of like a great ending to this, because like we don't know if she actually continues on with the communion.
Right. Because she goes up, but he says it a few times, and she
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
opens her mouth to accept it.
Well, like, I forgot, you're supposed to say like amen and then accept it. But
Yeah.
we never find out if she does or not. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe that whole journey kind of just changed her perspective.
Right.
But yeah, let's get into our other section. We got high star, low star. I don't know about you, Kobe, but I had to translate this with Google.
I know what you mean. I was there was actually quite a few reviews
Yeah.
that are 4 and 5 star, but none of them are in English.
So what do you got?
So I don't have I have anything
Oh,
unless
you
you want
did.
me to. I didn't think I could translate it.
You gotta Google. You right
Computers
click it.
do those things.
Yeah, you just highlight it. That's how you know Kobe's a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
Highlight it, right click, and then translate.
Oh, like magic. What is this devil box in front of me? So we got a 4 star. What an overthinking. What an overthinking. Nope, it didn't translate that very well.
Well, just like read it and then interpret it how you think.
What an overthinking girl takes me, born to suffer.
Oh, okay, never mind.
A victory for nonconformity.
Okay.
She is so dissatisfied with everything and everyone. She felt so sad and misunderstood. Different and she clung to the idea when she received communion that she would be a different person, a new, happy, normal person.
Oh, 'cause
But
she does ask that a lot. She's like, are you a
yeah,
different person when you take communion? Yeah. Sorry.
but but in the end, she chooses to be herself and embrace her situation. So okay, so really only the first line of that
Yeah.
didn't translate.
The one I have is a 1 out of 10, 1 out of 5 from Letterbox. This film is like when a posh girl visits a shanty town in India and says her life is completely changed. I think he's talking about Julia Roberts. I'm not really sure what it was trying to say, whether it was about grief, the racism of the late '80s, or the guilt of Catholicism that is instilled in us through the church. What it certainly doesn't avoid is a number of stereotypes. I mean, if you're trying to uh, showcase the racism of the late '80s, there's definitely going to be a lot of stereotypes.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, what did you think about the movie, Kobe?
I I enjoyed it a lot. It's probably not something I ever would have
Watched?
picked.
Yeah.
Um, and I have to say, wait till it comes out. If it comes out dubbed at some point, I think Teresa would probably love this movie too. Um, it's like kind of a beautiful story about this girl and like her coming to coming to age. I'm like all these different ideas that she's had like in her head, and now she's meeting other people that are from different
Cultures.
backgrounds and cultures and ideas, and how she's trying to process them and
Yeah.
make the world work.
Yeah, just kind of learn how to deal with a lot of things. Yeah. Cause yeah, it's not it was pretty refreshing to watch a movie that's about a child from the child's perspective, not having like an adult sidekick to kind of
Right.
like bounce off of. One of the things I do gotta say is like for the children actors in here were like great. I was like,
Oh, no, I thought the same thing. I actually looked to like see if they were in other things, because there is an IMDb for this.
oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, and like, cause like they didn't really, none of them felt like they were gonna fall into like the shallow end of like child acting, like especially with Elena, she was really able to convey like a lot of emotions. I don't know how, she's 8 years old. I don't know how deep her catalog, her filmography is, but like, just like being able
right.
to kind of portray like, well, what's going on, the confusion of grandmother, like her grandma being dead, and then like, her very early on conflicted feelings for her religion.
I- yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's if on someone that age, if it's like a natural born ability to act like that, or if you give the credit to a director and the child is just able to really follow instructions well. But yet, both the kids in this I thought were
Yeah.
fantastic for being that age to be able to convey as much emotion and
Yeah, and especially because it's like I remember being like having my own like Cerezeda, right? I was like, "Oh, dude, that guy is so cool." Like, another kid that was like my age, I was like, "Oh, he's so cool. I want to do the things that he does cuz maybe that'll make me cool." And
right. Yep.
and all that stuff, and then having to also deal with like going to church. I mean, like when I was young, like around 9 or 10, my mom started living with my aunt, and she was like heavily like religious, so like she didn't ever force my mom to go to church. But she was like, "Oh, Barry, let's go to church." I was like, "Oh man." Nerds. I don't know, like I don't know. I feel like if I ever had kids, I was like, oh, if you like, well, we'll see what religion you like, if you like any. You know,
Right, right. Now, I'm being about that age. I remember I had a friend and his parents and my parents. We never really went to church, but
yeah,
then it was like, okay, you're at that age. We should do this for you as kids. And so for 3 or 4 years, we went to the church with this other family. This other kid that was my age. We were good friends. Um, went through like confirmation and
yeah,
stuff
communion and
together. Yep.
confirmation, yeah. Yeah, and like, but like, yeah, also, having a family member die, I was around that age as well. It's like maybe around 10, and I was like, I would like just like lay down and be like, what now? Where would I go if I died?
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of a crazy thing, and like when all that is happening to you, you need like a support system. And unfortunately for Elena, her support system was gone.
Right.
Her parents were always bickering. Dad was working 10 hours a day in a cab.
And it wasn't like they were intentionally doing it. It was
Yeah.
just the situation. And
Yeah, because like they weren't bad parents. They were just lower middle class or maybe low class, I don't know, but they weren't well off.
right.
They were well off enough to have a place, but not well off to not worry about keeping that place.
Oh, right. Exactly. Yeah.
And so like yeah, that can do a lot, and like yeah, obviously I love, you love your kid, but you're like I'm so stressed. And that's the unfortunate part. And so like yeah, it was like really refreshing to see this from like the intended point of view. And I did you read any other people's reviews on this? Because I looked up a couple.
I I'm gonna say no because
Oh, well then,
you just taught me how to translate them.
well no, not like that, but like there's like sometimes they have articles like from like South by Southwest, like film critic reviews.
I looked a little bit, but I didn't really see
too many, right?
too many. Yeah.
The one I did see, it was from a female author, and she was just like talking about how much like this resonated with her. How like oh my god, like obviously like there's like if I watched this when I was younger, I wouldn't have gotten it, but this is like watching it now as an adult is kind of like healing me inside somehow.
Oh, I 100% could see that.
Yeah, because yeah, man, like that's why like it's super important. That's why there's psychology and then there's child psychology.
Right. Yeah, you show this to like a 10, 12-year-old. They're going to be like, running away seems so cool.
You see, and then you see what happened after she came back. They gave her everything she wanted.
Right. She didn't even get in trouble.
Yeah.
She got to pet a goat.
They're not gonna like look at the more heavier themes. They're just gonna be like, running away works, guys. So let's go ahead and pack our sacks, get our sticks for our sacks, and get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Oh man.
Let me tell you, running away doesn't work. I did it in 5th grade. I was like, me and my friends was gonna run away. We're gonna go up to the mountains, be mountain men, live off the land.
Oh God.
Let me tell you, when you were gone for more than 24 hours, your parents are happy to see you and yet so very, very unhappy to see you.
I just can't imagine like the trial and error for Kobe on making cheese in the wilderness. I don't know if he would have gotten dysentery at some point.
I'm sure I would have.
I don't know what kind of cheese he would have made because I don't think there's a lot of cows on mountains. A lot of this. Try this.
Yeah, so
raccoon cheese.
So if you live in Vegas, like Mount Charleston seems like it's a million miles away, but it's like close enough you could eventually get there. And then it was just like, that's a mountain. Once we get there, no one's ever going to be able to find us.
No way. So wait, what happened?
So we ran away and we got a few miles,
Uh-huh.
and then we just like kind of crouched down in like some desert area.
You're like,
Um,
what now?
and we you know we literally caught a lizard and cooked it over a candle, and then like
Oh,
ate crunchy lizard bits,
oh,
like not deboned or anything, because the lizard was only maybe 7 inches long.
oh.
So yeah, you just cook it over a candle, some charred lizard. It was gross. I knew it wasn't what I wanted. We had a couple pieces of fruit that we had taken.
So thankfully you guys didn't get like any parasites or anything or
I
any sickness.
Well, we knew to cook our meat so we don't get sick. That's why we brought candles.
Well, still, like, did you? I feel like you guys didn't like take out the guts.
Oh no, we did not. We did not.
Yeah.
We ate its skin and all.
Oh.
Yeah, gross. And you also don't realize you don't really think about it like as a kid. You're
Mhm.
like, it's Vegas, so it's we didn't go like in the middle of the summer,
Uh-huh.
but it's still like 90, 80, 85, 90 degrees during the day.
Yeah.
And you don't realize, well, it's going to drop down to like below 70 at night.
Eh.
And that is really cold when you didn't bring anything but like shorts and t-shirts.
Oh my, the most unprepared. Just we exactly like this little girl did. You know, she's like, all right,
But
here's my fanny pack.
we at least brought a backpack with a few shirts, a few pieces of, well, she brought candy. We brought a few pieces of fruit,
Uh,
a little bit of money. I had a little bit of money,
no, so
like a little bit, like $40. Yeah. It wouldn't
Hey.
have gone very far.
in the 80s, not so much, not so bad.
That's true. Yeah,
No, listen, I think,
we brought some candles.
yeah. I think my plan was like when I was young, I was like, oh, if I run away, I gotta take things that are gonna last a long time. So I was like, it was always like peanut butter,
Mm,
uh, Vienna sausages, cause like they're light.
right.
You get like 6 of them, and that's it. It was peanut butter and Vienna sausages.
My friend brought a pack of ramen, but we didn't have any cups or any water or anything, so we ate crunchy ramen and then like
Classic.
dumped the powder into our mouths.
Oh my god, you're supposed to dump it onto the uncooked rice
I-
or the noodles and then shake
Yeah.
it around.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah. This is how I know you guys
Terrible.
didn't have Kiki Kwan in your group. What was his name in Goonies?
Oh yes, yeah.
What was it? I don't want to say shortstop. That's for thing.
Right, that was his other name.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, we're coming up to our hour, so I want to go ahead and thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check all of our months down below, where hopefully we'll be able to do like more of these kinds of like special requests. Cause
Yeah,
this,
and
this
Yeah,
felt
certainly.
cool.
If you worked on a movie and you want us to review it,
Yeah, definitely hit us up. Because this was cool. I was like, oh, what? They sent me a link with a password? Oh, snap. Cool.
right? It made it feel special.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's so sick. But we do our reviews in 4 different sections. We do Stream It, DVD, Blu-ray, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Kobe, where you at?
Yeah, I'd Blu-ray this.
Yeah?
This was like I said, beautifully shot. I would love to rewatch this. I will Blu-ray it once it has both the dub and the subtitle track. So
Kobe, the reading was too much for Kobe.
no, I'm a grew up anime fan, so like I have no problem reading, but I know
But
that
to show Teresa.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I would Blu-ray this too. I think I was like, I want to give this to all the women in my life. He's like, hey, like, watch this movie and tell me how you feel afterwards.
Right?
Especially if I know that they grew up in a Catholic household. Like, let me know how you feel. But yeah, that's gonna be it for us. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check all of our links down below.
Yeah, we got our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube. We're putting more stuff up on all those things, so
Yeah.
check them out.
Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out this theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on the album Music Podcast 3, and the Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.